Good day, learners! Our subject for today is Mathematics 5 for Quarter 3, Week 8. And our topic is Circumference of the Circle. For the most essential learning competencies, visualizes the circumference of a circle, measures the circumference of a circle using appropriate tools, derives a formula in finding the circumference of a circle, and solves routine and non-routine problems involving circumference of the circle. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to visualize, measure, and find the circumference of the circle using appropriate tools, solve for the circumference, and to apply it in real-world problems. What do the following objects have in common? If you will be asked to draw them perfectly, how will you do it? First, we have the wheel. Second, we have the eyeballs. 3, we have tin cover. 4, roll of tape. And 5, 1 peso coin. Let us review the parts of the circle. First, we have diameter. Diameter is the line that passes through the center of the circle and divides the circle into two equal parts. So we call that as diameter. Second, we have a line that passes through the center of the circle and the half of the diameter, and we call that as radius. Next, we have the distance around the circle. The ratio of the circumference of a circle to its diameter is about 3.14 or 3 and 1400, and we call that as the circumference. Look at the length of a diameter of each circle below. Each circle has been rolled once to find its circumference. Study the table. So we have circle A. The length of the diameter is 1 centimeter, and the estimated circumference is 3 and 1/6 or about 3 and 1600. While the ratio, we have 3 and 1600 over 1 equals 3 and 1600. For the circle B, we have the 2 centimeter. The estimated circumference is about 6 and 1/3 or about 6 and 3300 centimeter. And the ratio of C to D is C is equals 6 and 3300 over 2 equals 3 and 165 thousandths. For the circle C, we have the length of the diameter is 4 centimeter and the estimated circumference is about 12 and 1/2 or about 12.5 centimeter. And the ratio of C to D is 12.5 over 4 equals 3 and 125 thousandths. The ratio of the circumference to the diameter of a circle is the same for any circle and is equivalent to the number pi, which is approximately 3.14 as shown in the fourth column of the table. So pi is spelled as pi, P-I, and is read as pi, P-I-E. Since pi equals C, or the circumference, and the diameter, and D is equals to 2R. Okay, so ang diameter natin, kapag i-divide natin, ang lalabas naman, kapag i-divide natin sa dalawa, that is radius. Then C, the formula is C is equals to pi D or it can be C is equals to 2 pi r, where d is the diameter and r is the radius. Okay, so if the given problem is radius, then you will use c is equals to 2 pi r. But if the given is diameter, the formula that can be used is c is equals to pi d. So we have derived the formula for the circumference of a circle using the cross product rule. Okay, so using the cross product rule, so pi over 1 is equals to c over d. So that means pi times d, that is equals to 1 times c. So that means the formula for the circumference, if the given is diameter, we can use c is equals to pi d. So since d is 2 radius, we can replace d from pi d. So that is equals to c with 2r or with 2 radius. So pi d is equals to c. And pi times 2r equals to c also. So after rearranging this, it will result to 2 pi r equals c. So for the example, so given a circle with a radius of 5 centimeters, so diameter, kung kukunin natin ang diameter, that is 2 times radius. So the diameter of the given circle, if radius is given, so you will multiply the radius by 2. So that will become 2 times 5 centimeter, that is equals to 10 centimeter. Okay, but if the circumference is c is 2 pi times diameter, and pi is approximately 3.14. Therefore, the circumference of the circle is 3.14 times 10 centimeter. That is equivalent to 31.4 centimeter. So we can use also another formula for the circumference, which is 2 times pi times radius, and it will result to the same circumference, which is 2 times 3.14 times 5 centimeter. That is equivalent to 31.4 centimeter. But we have to take note that the circumference has the same unit as its radius or diameter. But in this example, the unit of the radius is centimeters, and therefore the unit of its circumference is also in centimeters. Okay, so given a circle with diameter of 48 inches. Okay, so ang given naman sa circle na ito ay 48 inches. And that is diameter. So kung kukunin natin ang radius, we have to divide 48 into 2. So 48 inches divided by 2, so you will get 24 inches. And 24 inches is the radius of 48 inches na given na diameter. So the formula will be c is 2 times pi times r. Therefore, the c of the circle is or will become 2 times 3.14 times 24 inches. That is equivalent to 150 and 7200 inches. So we can also use the other formula, which is c is equals to pi times d, because the given is diameter. So to compute the circumference of the circle, so pi is the value of pi is 3.14 times 48 inches. That is also equivalent to 150 and 7200 inches. So let us try this. So you have now learned how to find the circumference using the derived formula. It is now time to apply it in real-world problems. So take a look at the problem below. So here is the problem. So Rimuru Tempest has built a circular pond in the Jura Tempest Federation as a part of their beautification project. The pond has a diameter of 20 meters. Now, what is the distance around the pond? And what are the steps needed to solve this problem? So again, here are the steps in solving problem. So we have the 4-step problem solving. So first is we have to understand. We have number 2 is plan. Number 3 is solve. And number 4 is check. So under understand, you have there what is asked. So in the problem, what is asked in the problem is the distance around the pond. And what are the given facts? Diameter of pond, which is 20 meters. So next is we have to plan what must be done to solve the problem. So we have to know the operation to be used, and the operation to be used is multiplication. Now, we are about to carry out the plan or the steps which is solved. So we can use the formula C is equals to pi D. So that is C is equals to 3.14 times 20 meters. So therefore, when we multiply 3.14 times 20, you will get 62 and 80 meters for the circumference. Now, if we are going to check the answer, is the answer correct? So we check by division. So the quotient should be matched with the given diameter. Now, let us answer learning task 1. Trace the circumference of the following objects using a blue ball pen or any colored pencil. So, you have to trace the circumference of the following objects. Okay, so remember that you have to use blue ball pen. For learning task 2, do this simple activity with anybody in the home. So what you need is 4 cans at different sizes. Okay? And then we have the ruler. So what are the steps? Measure the diameter of each can using your ruler. And number 2, complete the table below. So you have 4 cans. And you have to find the diameter of the can, the radius, and the circumference. Okay. Okay. So for learning task 3, solve for the circumference of each circle and fill in the radius and diameter below the circle. So not drawn to scale. So we have circle number 1, which has a radius of 5 inches. We have circle number 2, the diameter, the given is diameter, so 18 feet. So next is we have circle number 3, 25 centimeters as the radius. And number 4, circle, we have 10 meters as the radius. And number 5, 49 centimeter diameter. Okay, so let us now answer learning task 3. So for number 1, so the radius is 5 inches. The diameter is 10 inches. Okay, so remember that diameter is twice of the radius. And then the circumference is 31.4 inches. Okay, so paano ba natin nakuha yung circumference niya? So, we use the formula 2C is equals to 2 pi r. Okay, or 2 times 3.14 times 10. And then, the answer is 31.4 inches. For number 2, the radius is, so 18 feet. So, ang radius niya is, diameter yung given. So, ang radius niya is 9 feet. So, we have to divide 18 by 2. And the diameter is 18 feet and the circumference is 56 and 5,200 feet. Okay, so paano ba natin nakuha yan? So the formula is C is equals to pi D. So pi D, That is ang 3.4 times 18 feet, and the circumference is 56 and 52 hundredths feet. Now, the given is radius, so the radius is 25 centimeters, so the diameter will be 50 centimeters, and the circumference is 157 centimeter. Okay, and then for number 4, we have the radius of 10 meters. That is the given. The diameter is 20 centimeter. 20 meter rather, and the circumference is 125 and 6.6 meters. And the last one, we have the radius of 24.5 meters, because that is the given is diameter, so we have to divide the diameter into 2 to get the radius. So the diameter is 49 rather meter, and the circumference is 153 and 8600. So for learning task 4, solve the given problems. So for number 1 problem, Veldora walked around the circular pool, and the circular pool has a diameter of 3 meters. So what is the distance that Veldora has walked? So we have the step 1, read and understand. Under that, what is asked in the problem and what do you know of the problem? So we have the step 2, plan. What must be done to solve the problem? And step 3, solve and answer. So carry out the plan and write the final answer. And then for the step 4, you have to check whether your answer is correct. Okay, so let us now solve. Okay, so for the step 1, read and understand what is asked in the problem. So again, let us read the problem. Veldora walked around the circular pool. The circular pool has a diameter of 3 meters, and what is the distance that Veldora has to walk? So what is being asked in the problem is the distance around the circular pool. And what do you know of the problem? So diameter of the circular pool is 3 meters. So let us now plan. What must be done? Find the circumference of the pool. Let us now solve. So we have to use the formula C is equals to pi D. So that means C is equals to pi. Ang pi natin is 3.14 times 3 centimeter. So that the answer will be C is equals to, or circumference is 9 and 42 hundred meters. So that is our final answer. So i-multiply lang natin yung 3.14 times 3, then you will get 9 and 4200 meters. So tingnan natin kung paano naman natin i-check para malaman natin kung tama ang sagot. So we have to C is equals to 9 and 42 meters divided by 3.14. Okay, so for problem number 2, how much greater is the circumference of the circle with a diameter of 12 meters than another circle with a radius of 5 meters? So you will follow this step. So from step 1 to step 4. So for step 1, read and understand what is asked in the problem. What do you know of the problem? For step 2, you have to plan what must be done to solve the problem. Step 3, solve and answer, then carry out the plan and write the final answer. And for the last step, step 4, check if the answer is correct. Okay, so let us now answer problem number 2. What is asked in the problem is that how much greater is the circumference of the circle with a diameter of 12 meters than another circle with a radius of 5 meters? And what do you know of the problem? Okay, so we have here the diameter of 12 meters and another circle with a radius of 5 meters. And for the plan, what must be done? So solve for the circumference of the two circles, then get the difference of both circumference, and then solve. So first, you have to get the circumference of the circle with a diameter of 12 meters. So the formula that we're going to use is C is equals to pi d. So that means C, or circumference, is equals to 3.14 times 12 meters equals 37.68 meters, or 37 and 6800 meters. And then next is we have to get the circumference of a circle with a radius of 5 meters. So the formula is circumference is equals to 2 pi r. Okay, so that is equal to 2 times 3.14 times 5 meters. So the answer is 31.4. Okay, so what is next? You have to subtract the circumference of the first circle and the circumference of the second circle. Okay, so the circumference of the first circle is 37 and 68 meters, and the circumference of the other circle is 31.4. So if you are going to find the difference or subtract this, you will get 6 and 2800 meters. Okay. And the circle with a diameter of 12 meters is 628 meter greater than a circle with a radius of 5 meters. Okay. Okay, so for learning task 5, now that you know how to solve different types of problems involving circumference, it is time for you to answer these problems on your own. Use the 4-step plan. So, the problem is, a car tire has a radius of 20 centimeters. How far will it go in 120 turns? So you have the 4-step plan. We have step 1, read and understand what is asked in the given problem. What do you know of the problem? And then we have the step 2, plan. What must be done to solve the problem? And step 3, solve and answer. And for the step 4, you have to check your answer. Okay, so let us now answer learning task 5, number 1. Okay, so what is asked in the problem? Okay, the distance in 120 turns. And what do you know of the problem? Okay, so we have the radius of the car tire, which is 20 centimeters, and the 120 turns. Now, what must be done to solve the problem? Okay, so find the circumference of the car tires, and then times 120 turns. Now, let us now solve. So, the given is radius, so we will use the formula circumference is equals to 2 pi r. So, that means 2 times 3.14 times 20 centimeter times 120 turns. Okay, so when you multiply that, the answer will be the circumference is equivalent to 15,072 centimeters. And that is our final answer. Okay, so C is equals to 15,072 centimeters. Okay, so if we are going to check the answer, whether it is correct, yeah, so circumference divided by 120 turns. So, ang circumference natin is 15,072. So, divided by 120. So, you will get 125 and 6 tenths. And 125 and 6 tenths divided by 3.14, which is our pi. So, the answer will be 40. And then, the radius is 20 centimeters. So, we have to divide 40 by 2, so the answer is 20 centimeter. Okay. Okay, so for another problem, number 2, how far does a wheel of 50 centimeter diameter travel if it makes 750 revolutions? Okay, so again, you have the 4 step to follow for you to answer this problem. Okay, so let us now answer. So what is asked in the problem? The distance of wheel travel. And what do you know of the problem? Okay, so diameter of wheel is 50 centimeter, and then we have the 750 revolutions. Now what must be done? Find the circumference of the wheel times 750 revolutions. And the given is diameter, so we will use the formula circumference is equals to pi d. Okay, and let us convert. So the value of pi is 3.14, then times 50 centimeter, then times 750 revolutions. And that is equivalent to the circumference of the circle is C is equals to 117,750 centimeter, and that is our final answer. Now, if you are going to check your answer, you have to go backwards. So you have 117,750 divided by 750. That is equivalent to 157. Then 157 divided by 3.14, which is the value of pi, that is equivalent to 50 centimeter as the diameter. Okay. Okay, for learning task 5 number 3, how much greater is the circumference of a circle with a radius of 10 meters than a circle with a diameter of 10 meters? So again, we will follow the 4 steps. So step 1 is read and understand. Step 2, plan. Step 3, solve and answer. And step 4, check. Okay, so let us answer number 1. Read and understand. So what is asked in the problem? Okay, so how much greater is the circumference of the circle with a radius of 10 meters than another circle with a diameter of 10 meters? And what do you know of the problem? Okay, so we have the given data, which are circle with a radius of 10 meters than another circle with a diameter of 10 meters. And what must be done to solve the problem? Okay, solve for the circumference of the two circles, then get the difference of both circumference. Okay, and then, so since the first circle, the given is radius, so we will use the formula C is equals to 2 pi r. And then let us convert. So C is equals to 2 times 3.14 times 10 meters, which is the radius. So the answer is 62.8 meters. Okay, and then let us solve for the circumference of the second circle, which has a diameter of 10 meters. And since diameter ang given, so the formula that we are going to use is C is equals to pi d. So conversion again. So 3.14 times 10 meters, that is equivalent to 31.4 meters. And to see whether which circle is greater than the other circle, so we will subtract the first circle with the second circle in terms of the circumference. So the first circle has a circumference of 62.8, and then the second circle, which has a diameter of 10 meters, the circumference is 31.4. So if we are going to minus or subtract, the answer or the circumference will be 31.4 meters. So that means the circle with a radius of 10 meters is 31.4 greater than a circle with a diameter of 10 meters. So if we are going to check your answer, then we will go backward. But we have to solve first for the first circle. So the circumference is 62.8. So i-divide natin sa 3.14, which is the value of pi. So the answer will be 20. Okay, and then divide by 2. So that means the answer is 10 meters. Okay, and for the second circle, the circumference is 31.4. So divide natin sa 3.14, which is the value of pi. Then the answer is 10 meters. Okay. Okay, for learning task 5, item 4 after 5. So this is the problem. Walrus is circular and has a diameter of 760 kilometers. Levi wishes to travel around it. How long is the distance that he will travel? If Levi wants to travel for 2,000 kilometers around the wall, at least how many times does he need to travel around it? So answer for this question should be a whole number. So again, you have to follow the fourth step in answering word problem. So step 1, read and understand what is asked in the problem, what do you know of the problem, and then step 2, plan what must be done to solve the problem. Step 3, solve and answer, carry out the plan and write the final answer. And then the last step, step 4, check, is the answer correct? Okay, so this time you are going to answer it on your own. And you can use the information that we had discussed in solving for the circumference of the circle. So, good luck. Further reflection, write your personal insights about the lesson using the prompts below. I understand that, I realize that, and I need to learn more about blank. And that concludes our topic about circumference of the circle. So that's all, and thank you and God bless everyone.